a sun, the fields are alive. Cheering crowds and the teams collide. In these moments, we stand tall and free. First pride runs deep in me. With every touchdown, we rise and we cheer. Unity and spirit, the heart of the year. Raise your voices, let's make it loud. In Florida's high schools, we're so damn proud. From the bleachers to the end zone to go, football and cheers make our spirits grow. Girls in the game, they're fierce and bright. Flag in hand, they give it their might. From every town they bring their dreams. On this field of gold, nothing's as it seems. Together we shine, together we play. In Florida's heart, we own this day. Raise your voices, let's make it loud. In Florida's high schools, we're so damn proud. From the bleachers to the end zones go, football and cheers make our spirits grow. So here's to the game, we'll rise and stand. In Florida's field, real die band.
Good Saturday morning to you as we come live for a special edition of the Blitz Drive the State edition. And it is Happy National Clean Out Your Refrigerator Day. Boy, great. Now I know what I got to do afterwards. Clean out the... Yes, indeed. Sorry if I sound a little stuffy. Yeah, I had a sinus headache last night, actually, which was not good. So, and that means that the winter weather has arrived much earlier than we expected. So, because that's usually what happens. So, but anyways, good morning to y'all as we come to you live here, and I know we'll get this done and out of the way before college football starts off at noon and stuff, and really, really interesting. Good morning to you, Emery. Good morning, Connor. Good morning, L. Browning, 1970. Good morning, Mark Cannon. Good morning, Charles. Good to see y'all on here as we are doing this here, and really, really interesting. We've got a lot to get to here. We'll do this over the next 90 minutes to 2 hours. As we go through this here, Chris, and I got to tell you, some really interesting results, to say the least.
Oh, yeah. And some interesting upsets around there, too.
Interesting upsets. David Kozlowski, good morning to you as well. How about some controversy to kick off the show things? Apparently, a referee. We'll start out in the Panhandle with the Evans Pace game on that one. Pace comes out on top on that one, but there was a touchdown catch ruled by the referees. From video that I have seen, it looks like you got a question. And it's like, was it really a catch or not a catch? And then, oh man! And then I gotta address the other thing. And obviously, you see that he's sitting here on the topic screen on the drive chart here. We're gonna address something here this morning here, and Charles, hey, good man. Good morning to you. It's good to see you. And then, this cold weather messes me up too, Emery. So I agree with you on that one. And then, David Kozlowski, actually, I'll ask you the question about Madison County. I'll answer that question about Madison County. It's not as many as you think. It really isn't about that the charter school that doesn't offer athletics. It really is not that many. It's a very, very, very few on that one. And then here we go. And then you know what? We're going to talk about it because Chris, when I was looking at the results, several overtime games, including one that went triple.
Oh yeah,
it's literally crazy here. But I'm gonna get into something here. We're going to address it here with the Florida Power Rankings Index because obviously, to say the least, there's been some chatter on the social media webs, and. I get it that the forecast didn't agree on every single game. And I get it that, you know what, some teams were rated underdogs that maybe shouldn't have been underdogs. And I get that point. The thing is, let me ask you this question, and let me really ask you let me ask you all this question. Do you think ranking systems like the BCS, Massey, Laz, even when Joe Pinko's, do you think they were perfect out of the gate?
No.
This is what this is. This is year one. This is not going to be perfect out of the gate. The fact that we're actually hitting 75%, the computer is hitting 75% about 75% on the season, on the games, that's actually pretty damn good for year one.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good on the prediction, but we're not going to get every game right. It's not going to get every game right. And for a reporter in this state to address it as the Couch Rankings Index, I'd like to see you take a stab at it and try this. Try and see to put something together like this, and then come back to me.
No.
We've been doing this for 16 years, longer than most in this state have done it.
Yeah, I mean, when you crunch the numbers, not everything can come out right, and come out the way you think it's going to. So.
No, it doesn't. And I will also say this. Okay, it doesn't account for injuries. It doesn't account for other things that can happen along the way. All right. I also have to address the other part of this. Does the 2-week layoff help teams or not? It looks like it helps some teams, and other teams may have gotten overconfident thinking, oh, well, hey, we're going to have an easy opponent in the first round. And you know what? It was not so. As for some teams, it was this. Mark, you're right. They are paying attention. They're seeing what we're doing. That's the thing. You're right. You're right, Mark. But another comment came up this morning. Okay, I get it, but you know what? Another ranking system had a team ranked number one in Oklahoma for multiple weeks, number one nationally, by the way. And please tell me when I look at everything else, how a team from Oklahoma can be ranked number one nationally. That's all.
I guarantee you that number one team in Oklahoma, they'll probably challenge a lot of teams perfectly fine, but to say that they'll beat, like, they'll beat the top team in California, the top team in Washington, the top team in Texas.
Oh, tell me if you're going to beat IMG Academy. That would be another thing.
Yeah.
And David, I'll address about the Chipley, the 40-point spread. Look, all right, Madison was a top 25 team to start off the year in the rankings.
Yep.
All right. You go on the road, you lose to one by Deland. Okay, I get that, but you were expected to win that game. Mark, you're right. It's better to have critics than not. You're right. You're right. Okay. I think in Madison County's case, this is what the issue is that yes, all 5 losses came against really good teams, but 4 out of 5 wins came against teams that had some struggles this year.
Yeah, it's like Madison County was playing to the level of whatever team that they were playing. So I digress.
I mean, I gotta say this. Look, Madison County, their best win was against Bay, who, by the way, was showing the door last night. So that right there, I want to circle around on that one, because you got to be really honest and look at this. Look at these numbers. Look at everything that's going on. The system's not going to crunch everything down to the wire that everybody thinks, oh, well, yeah, eyeball test is one thing. Did I disagree on the computer with certain picks? Yes, I disagreed. Did I listen to the computer? Yeah, sometimes.
And we're going to circle back to the one result that started all this in the first place.
And let's just go back to let's go back to Bishop Verot and Calvary Christian Fort Lauderdale. All right, I get it. They were under by 30, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Yeah, Village is gone. I get that. Villages had a hell of a season, and Berkeley Prep gave them a fight, and they fought. It wasn't like they rolled over against Berkeley Prep. By no means they didn't roll over.
And Berkeley Prep's a damn good team.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that we boil down to is this one is dealing with the issue of Bishop Verot and Calvary Christian. Bishop Verot, their final game back in week 11 was against Miami Palmetto, and they just were totally flat. Now, I get it at Calvary Christian and Fort Lauderdale, you can question their schedule. You can question that about a lot of team schedules. I think you can go across the board and you can question about a lot of team schedules across the board. All right, but no ranking system is going to be perfect. All right, it's okay, fair play to criticize Max Preps, which is fine. We can criticize Max Preps. We can criticize what I do here. You can criticize the ranking system here. I get that. The question is that, there's a ranking system. Some of these ranking systems have been around for years. They've had chances to fine tune. This is year one. I've tried to fine tune it up to the certain point, but I can't keep tinkering with the system on a fly without knowing, okay, what are the things that are causing it to go wrong? And I have to see that to be open to open that up. And once now I'm seeing that open up a little bit more, I'll be able to, after the season, go through and say, hey, okay, all right, we got to fix this, and this. We've got to tighten it up. All right, maybe, okay, when it comes to the preseason, what is it going to be? Okay, all right, we're going to need to maybe reference 4 years of historical data. Maybe we need to look at maybe referencing historical data through, through the entire season, because really usually history is a good indicator of what the future is going to bring for a lot of programs.
Yeah, and to be fair, the rankings for this year haven't had the data pulled back from the previous years. So that's another issue that we have right now with the current computer rankings. So once we get that built up, then the system will be more accurate.
And that's the thing, and it's okay. You start with a nucleus. Okay, where do you start at? You have to build somewhere. Good morning, Noah. Good morning, Billy. Good morning. I see that y'all. Good morning to everybody in here. And yes, indeed. It just really have to boil it down to this is where I'm going to boil it up with. Is that the more data we throw at it, okay, there might be some other things I need to throw at it. All right, preseason. All right. Okay. How many 3, 4, 5-star guys you got? I didn't want to have to start factoring that in, but maybe we have to a little bit more.
Yeah. And maybe those 3 or 4 maybe somewhere down the line we can factor in some recruiting part of it, but I don't know.
And no, I mean it'd probably be in the preseason where it impacts the most, because obviously that's where your nucleus starts at. All right. Maybe it's maybe.
I mean, some of those 5-star and 4-star, they'll probably be maybe like a fraction of a percent as part of a factor in the entire thing. So.
I mean, there's so many ways to look at it, and we're gonna look at this, and we're gonna look at it. But I just want to address this.
Yeah,
it's a computer ranking. It's not a couch index rating, and I'm gonna address that. And it's not sitting on the couch. It's putting the numbers in, and it's letting the computer run the formula. And trust me, there's some days when you know what. And Coach Cedric Daniels from Hawthorne, appreciate you, man. And yet you're right. Computer will never be perfect to the eye test, and that's the thing. All right, that's the thing. what is this supposed to do? It's supposed to generate talk. It generates talks. It generates a lot of interest, and it generates, hey.
Case in point.
Yeah. By the way, David Myers, I hate to bust your bubble on that about the districts in rural, but it's not happening.
Yeah.
We were told it's actually no mandatory district play in rural. That's if the rural classification actually survives.
I don't think it will either. I don't think the world's going to last.
Yeah, Cameron, he says corrected. It will factor. If correct, it will factor. It will factor in it. In the rankings in Florida is tough with the level of football. You're talking about the recruit. You're talking about the recruiting. The 3, 4, and 5-star guys, right, Cameron? I just want to make sure that that's what you're addressing there. And then David Myers, yep, it's a bummer. Yep, World's actually. I'm sorry, David Kozlowski. It's actually 3 Actually, so far it's been Dixie, Weewa, Sneeds. I've got a list of about 6 to 8 others that could deflect here in the next 2 weeks. So keep an eye on
this. And this is in the process of the FSA trying to redraw the districts, and they're going to have to start moving some teams around because of the world class not having enough teams. So
yeah. And someone told me like, oh well, you take the lowest 32 schools for a rural class, and you okay, well, you know what, these teams leave, you go find the next school. That's the next, and it's like, to me, it's like, where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line at? Okay, how high are you going to take that cap to? That's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
How high are you going to take that cap? Anyways, let's get to let's talk some recap here. Basically, Chris, let's talk here. Let's get into it here, because a lot to be said, a lot to discuss here, a lot to really get at here. And as you see, we'll put it up here on the screen here, and as you look at it, we'll talk about the rural bracket first and foremost and everything. And boy, yeah, this is good. This outside of I will tell you this. Outside of that forecast on Chipley, Madison County, we nailed 7 of the 8. The computer nailed 7 of the 8 games.
Yeah.
Put a little music on in the background. Some familiar music, but we're not making picks here. But we're going to put it on here. So, anyways, looking at this, you see Bluntstown roll over Jay, Madison County rolling over Chipley. All right. So yes, we were definitely wrong on that one. But then, hey, there you go. Taylor County beating Trenton, Pahokee winning over Fort Meade, Chiefland beating Sneeds, Baker, Williston, Hawthorne, all winners. And really, hey, going 7-1 in a bracket like that, that's actually not bad. 7-1, not bad.
I mean, it's about the usual suspect we thought would advance in the world bracket. So really, not very many surprises there.
No, not very many surprises here. And I got to point out when looking at this here in terms of our matchups for this coming week for round 2. The longest road trip.
They're about to get juicy.
That's going to get juicy here. The longest road trip obviously is going to be Pahokee going to Taylor County. That is a long road trip here. Obviously, you know what? And then you got Baker. Baker is another one. That you talk about 2 long road trips. Here you go. Now, what's really interesting in my backyard is the Hawthorne Williston matchup. They met in the state semifinals last year, but this year it is a regional final matchup here with the right to advance to the state semifinal the next week. And this doesn't get reseeded like the rest of the classification does in the rural bracket. So if Bluntstown wins, they would host regardless of who wins in the 4-5 matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Madison County wins, you're looking at Taylor County, Pahokee winning, going through this matchup here and basically being able to have a chance to host. Now, there's a chance here. This is what makes this interesting. If Baker wins and Williston wins, Baker would be at home to host in the state semifinals. Chiefland wins, Hawthorne wins. If Hawthorne wins, they host regardless. So there you go.
Yep.
So with that said, that's a look at some of the results in the rural there. Not a lot of shocking results there, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, anything that stands out for you outside of that? Okay, obviously we knew that we disagree with the computer potentially, going with the Chipley Madison game.
Well, not really. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but Madison County showing up the way that it did is more surprising than not. Because I figured Chipley would have a chance to really challenge them.
I had thought Chipley had a chance to compete, and obviously Madison. And I heard from Bryce Harris, the head coach at Madison County. They took that forecast and they used it as bulletin board material. And you know what? I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Hey, if something we do motivates a team to do better or to be fired up coming into a game, hell yes, do it.
Bingo.
Anyways, let's roll. All right, let's get into Class 1A Region 1 here. University Christian rolls Trinity Catholic 55-14, Impact Christian 36-0 over Episcopal. Trinity Christian 42-16 over Providence, and McClay 39-18 over North Florida Educational. Now, we went 3-1 in this one. The only one that we got wrong here was obviously North Florida Educational over McClay. It was a 4-point swing. That game had basically was almost pretty much coin toss.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, McClay took their two losses in stride, took the time off, used it to their advantage, and here you go. Now, obviously, you got the trip to Trinity Christian. Now, can you beat Trinity Christian? This might be the best chance they have had yet to beat Trinity Christian in the playoffs. So we'll see what.
Again, not much really surprising that bracket either. So
no, not much surprising here. I mean, University Christian and Impact Christian, that'll be a rematch from the districts from the regular season. So keep an eye on that one.
I mean, the only minor upset probably Impact Christian winning over Episcopal, but
hey, the computer had it.
We kind of saw that coming.
Yeah, the computer had the forecast to 12 over on that one, but okay, you know what? Yeah, we're not gonna. I think we all knew McClay could win. It was, were they up to it? And sure enough, they showed us last night they were up to it. So, anyways, yes, that eyes are not deceiving you. That's 70 points put up by Carrollwood Day. Don't ignore the score on Max Preps. They say that it was 42-3 unless they've already changed it. It was 70-3. I verified it, went back to the tape, checked it. There you go. But anyways, yeah, the forecast was 53. They put up 70. So I mean, now we did get one wrong, and it's the Orlando Christian Prep game, and I don't know what I think this is going to be good to look at here, Chris, because this was obviously they played for the district championship several weeks ago. Melbourne Central Catholic won that game, and here they are. They beat Orlando Christian Prep once more, and 21-4 is a score. God, I mean, it's not the first time this year that 4 points has been scored in a game. So, I mean,
yeah, and yeah, that was an interesting Melbourne Central Catholic. That really wasn't a surprise, but the way that they won probably was.
Yeah, now the other one is that you had a barn burner here with Lakeland Christian and Victory Christian. And Victory Christian, being the 6th seed, is on to the next round. Obviously, sorry, you got Clearwater Central Catholic next week. That's a tough one. But I think we said Wednesday night that when Lakeland Christian and Victory Christian get together, you might as well just throw everything out the door. Those two battle each other. Sure enough, it was one of those games, And it's one of those things that was really like you expect the unexpected in this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yes, yes, the computer predicted Lakeland Christian to win, but was Lakeland Christian, on terms of the numbers, a much better team? Yes, but again, throw everything out the door when you throw those two play each other.
Especially when you have when you're playing a district opponent in the first 2 rounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nola, you're right. You're right, Nolan. They won only the first game by 4, but when you throw these two, you might as well just throw everything out the door when these two play, because you can put any forecasted line on that game, and we're all going to be wrong. I don't care who you are; we're all going to be wrong. So, anyways, with that said, that's Region 2. Let's go to Region 3 here. St. Petersburg Catholic 50-14 over Evangelical Christian. St. John Newman rolls Southwest Florida Christian 41-0. Cardinal Newman 37-0 over Benjamin. And Community School 63-13 over Northside Christian. And the only one I'm kind of it's really interesting is the Southwest Florida Christian St. John Newman. That one kind of went a little haywire there, but again, I'm starting to question, was a 2-week break good or bad for some programs? And I'm wondering for Southwest Florida Christian if this wasn't. I guess in my opinion,
there's a couple of things there. Yes, they had a 2-week break, and the other thing is they're playing a superior opponent. So
yeah, and those 4 or 5 matchups are usually going to be pretty close, and the forecasted line was only 6. So again, it could go. There was a chance for it to go either way. But you know what? I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
All right. And into Region 4, Shannon Madonna rolls. We don't even need to discuss about that score. Miami Edison. Well, this one was a real. That was for me was.
That was a wow.
And I admit it was a miss. True North. True North rolls. Yeah, go ahead.
The one result out of this bracket that really surprised me was St. Andrews putting the woodshed to White Pitcher Carroll.
Yeah, I'm not as necessarily surprised. The computer called it for St. Andrews 20, but but they rolled. 54-20. There you go.
The St. Andrews winning doesn't surprise me, but the way that the score it actually surprised me.
Yeah. Well, with that said, that's, again, not too many. Edison, Edison, I got to say this. You know what? Thanks for playing. Thanks for getting a win, but you got Shannon and Madonna again. And
yeah,
that's what probably is out of the 2 matchups that's coming in. We'll talk more about it on Wednesday night when we do another Drive the State. We'll break down and do our picks then. True North and St. Andrews. That, I'll tell you right now, that is going to be an intriguing matchup for the Region 4 bracket in the regional semi. With that said, 3, 5, 8, 11. Yep. How about this? Okay. All right. We were 11-5. The computer was 11-5 on the picks in 1A. Not bad. Not bad. You can handle. All right. Let's talk about Class 2A here, Chris. Here. Class 2A Region 1. Probably, outside, looking at the results here. Bowles, no surprise. Rollover Walton, no surprise. Pensacola Catholic rolling over Bozeman, no surprise. South Walton rolling over Freeport, again, no surprise. I think the biggest one was the level with Florida High and Baldwin. Florida High 4-6. Okay, yes, they played a tough schedule, but also at the same time they've had some struggles. Gadsden County. Really. I feel like that's more of an upset than not because the way Florida High has played.
Yeah.
Charles, you're right. Charles, you're right. It doesn't have the it doesn't have the strength of schedule. That's part of it. But the problem is that you also have got to win some of those games, in my opinion. You can't just play strong schedule and lose every single game that's strong on the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to show something for it. That's my opinion. But anyways, outside of that, we were three. The computer was 3-1 on the picks here. You see the matchups for next week. The dates and times that you see on these matchups, they're tentative right now. We'll find out more over the weekend, and when we come back Wednesday, we should have more locked in times for almost everybody for those games come Friday. I do know in 3A Region 4 there will be I know there's one game that will be scheduled for Thursday night. So, but I really outside of this, there's really no shock. I mean, Bowles is on a roll here. I think Bowles and Pensacola Catholic are on a closing course here, Chris, for regional finals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So, here we go. All right. Now I gotta admit, you know what? All right. Villages, Berkeley Prep had some struggles this year. Okay, Berkeley Prep was only 4-4 in the regular season. They come into the playoffs. They had a game against Carrollwood Day that was never made up. I feel like if that game with Carrollwood Day had been made up, I feel like maybe that would have improved their ranking a little bit in our ranking, so to speak. But thinking about it, this is where we learn. This is where we look at everything. This is where we will start to put more historical data into the system. Winston, the Villagers might have been overrated.
Villagers. I don't think the Villagers was overrated. I think that Berkeley Prep was underrated.
And that's the thing with Berkeley Prep. They might have been underrated. They may have. By the way, it was 55-6 on Bradford beating Avon Park. That was 55-6. So Avon Park did get 6 points. So,
and shout out to Santa Fe, the way that they played against Calvary Christian.
Oh, they almost won that game. By the way.
I know. And oh man, what can you say about that one? Holy crap!
And then Cocoa rolls Newberry 42-13. So that sets up obviously you see the matchups there for tomorrow night there for next week, I should say. Anyways, 2A Region 3. Let's talk about it here. Cardinal Mooney rolling. Now this obviously yes. Again, I know y'all can come at me about the Bishop Row.
And to be fair, that game was close.
But I know Cardinal Mooney, that's going to be no match.
No.
Emory, I had 55-6.
Emory, the score was 55-6. I confirmed it last night.
Yeah, I'm going back.
And when I confirmed it, I had to I looked at like 3 different sources.
Yeah, so. It's showing on the official FHA bracket as 55-6, Emory. Anyways, really, I mean, these matchups I don't think are surprising in a lot of ways. Obviously, Bishop Row advancing. I mean, that I get it. But Cardinal Mooney's going to be a tough out. Obviously, Lakewood Glade Central, that's going to be a tough one for Glade Central. Lakewood is really, 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 really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyways,
So, I'm looking at Region 4.
All right. Oh, sorry. I'm not on the right screen here. If I can do it, and then we'll go. All right. Region 4. Obviously, Mac and LaSalle rolls all over Somerset Silver Ponds 42-7. Ransom Everglades gets their first state series playoff win in program history, 20-13 over Gulliver Prep. And by the way, yes, the computer did get that right. Cardinal Gibbons rolls over Monsignor Pace 48-28. Miami Killian rallies over Miami Carroll City 38-21. And so, yes, we were actually a perfect 4-0 in that region there, in that one there.
Mhm.
So 3, 5, 8. 8 and 4 is 12. Yep. All right. I can
Good
take
luck to
that.
Miami Killian next week.
Yeah, I know. All right, let's take a look at this here in our next with Class 3A Region 1 here, Chris. Yes, indeed. No surprise here when we talk about it. Rains over Baker County 43-6. West Florida, this one kind of
That surprised me. That surprised me.
considering the long road trip. West Florida wins 24-16. Now this other one. Oh, I put the wrong thing on my thing. By the way, it's supposed to be Bishop Kinney and Godby. I put it. I was trying to get it all done. So it's Bishop. By the way, I knew I'd screwed something up here. I knew I would do it. It's Godby. It's Godby is going to be at Bishop Kinney in when it's going to be a 3-7 matchup. That one really kind of blew my mind seeing Godby pull off the upset.
Mm-hmm.
Yulee blowing it. They blowing it. That unbelievable. But that's where, you know what? Hey, you can have the best season possible, win these games, but get to the playoffs and just lay the egg. And that's what Bay did. Yeah. That's what Yulee did.
Yeah, Godby winning like that was a big surprise. I did not expect them to go up there to Pensacola and win that thing like that.
No, I didn't expect Godby to go up there and win like that. I didn't expect West Florida to go
all the way to Yulee.
Yeah, this is
two diverse trips and it ends up in way different than you think it would.
So, by the way, it is Godby going to be at Bishop Kinney next week, and then West Florida will be at Rains. So, West Florida has to make the trip back east again to play Rains, and probably will say West Florida, thank you for playing, but
I wouldn't count West Florida out right now, but considering what they did to you, considering what they did in that first round, but yeah, who knows? I mean,
here we go. This is the region where we were a perfect 4-0 and Bishop Moore, Eastside, O'Galley, Merritt Island all win their games. And sets up Eastside at Bishop Moore and then Merritt Island at O'Galley for next week. And as Mike Rideout from Main Street Daily News said, Eastside might just be picking up the right time. Might have a chance to beat Bishop Moore next week, but we'll see. Bishop Moore's really good. And we'll have to see what the numbers crunch out to be at the end of the day on this one. But I got to tell you, it really did this. It's going to be interesting. These are going to be some good games here in this Region 2 bracket next week.
Yeah, and you look at that and it's like, okay, you got two good games. They're like the district rematch between O'Galley and Merritt Island. And
oh yeah, absolutely. Anyways,
all bets are off on that. All bets are off on that game.
And then here you go, Region 3. I mean, where do we start at with this one? Booker, just want to even talk about Bayshore. 4-6 Bayshore pulls it off as a 5 seed, 27-12. Nature Coast only gets by Gibbs 7-0. And then here you go, Jefferson and Boca Ciega in overtime. I told y'all back on Wednesday, keep an eye on that particular game because Boca Ciega is the one that dumped Jefferson out of the playoffs last year. Sure enough, they almost did it again this year. At least this time, it was not a blowout of epic proportions like it was last year. Yes, Congratulations, Jefferson. You needed overtime. Now, obviously, Nature Coast is beatable, but we'll see what happens here, see how the numbers crunch out, because obviously in this situation, Nature Coast was a 51-point favorite, only won by 7. Jefferson was a 44-point favorite, only won by 1. Booker was 72-point favorite, blew the forecast out the door. No, the last night the final score was not 20-20. It was 41-40 overtime. I confirmed it, watched the video, checked on that one, confirmed it as well. But right now, it looks like we're on right now, it's looking like Booker's on their way to dominating this region. And it's weird. Region 3 is weird, but Class 3.
Nature Coast and Jefferson, that's going to be a really interesting matchup.
I'm really intrigued by that matchup. The Booker.
I am too. That stands out for me. For some strange reason, that really stands out to me. Really interesting.
Yeah. And last but not least, you called it, Chris, because you said, hey, you thought Key West had a chance of winning that game on that long road trip, and they sure did. 44-34 over Cypress Lake. They move on in the playoffs. Well, you get Miami Northwestern next week. Thank you for playing, Conks, for this one. But and then Miami Central rolls over St. Brendan 70-0. And really what's interesting, Miami Northwestern was a 75-point favorite, won by 70. All right, pretty close. Miami Central was a 63-point favorite. Lele, 13-point favorite. Yeah, they had some struggles there early on, but pulled away. Obviously, got to give Key West credit there for winning that one there. So,
yeah, basically the Miami Central Northwestern Invitational there.
You took the words right out of my mouth. All right, let's take so much for long travel, Jinx. Yeah, I know, right? Right, Mark Cannon, right. All right, let's take a break here, Chris, and then we'll come back and we'll go through 4A through 7A and talk about what's ahead, and then we'll keep doing this, wrap it up, and then we'll send you after that. We'll send you off to college football. All right, We'll be right back right here on the Drive the State edition, special Saturday morning recap of round 1 of the 2025 FSA playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking about this for a long time. I thought, if that's out there, I want to make sure I see it and I get involved in it, because to me, this was music to my ears. I was blown away. When you look at today's kid, the millennium kid, they learn by being able to see it. If I can see it, there's a great chance that I can do it. The First Down Playbook is a tool that can essentially change the way we teach the game.
Box Out gives you the ability to create graphics at the speed of sports to highlight your athletic department, teams, and student athletes in seconds. Used and trusted by Notre Dame, Ohio State, UConn, Marquette, Georgetown, and many more of the top college brands in the country. If you want your school's brand to stand out through all the clutter, start your free demo at boxoutsports.com.
High school sports fans, follow your team live with a free ScoreStream mobile app. Download ScoreStream to get real-time scores, photos, and awesome video. Plus, follow your favorite teams and friends. Get real-time high school sports from ScoreStream.
Get ready for the 2026 Coach of the Year Clinics. This February and March, see top collegiate coaches, learn from the best, and take your program to the next level. Don't miss America's most respected coaching clinics.
All right, welcome back here to the Drive the State Edition Saturday morning recap here on FortHSFootball.com. Yes, by the way, how about this Orange Lutheran shocking St. John Bosco in the CIF playoffs?
Wow.
Well, we talked about that. We still got it on 3A Region 4 here real quick as we talk about that. By the way, Miami Northwestern, who played Orange Lutheran, lost to them, didn't end up picking up a forfeit win off of them. So, so Miami Northwestern undefeated as of right now here in the playoffs at 10-0 here. So Miami Northwestern rolling on here. And anyways, let's get into it here, Chris, with Class 4A. Boy, this one's really interesting, Chris.
Yes, it was. In many different ways.
Yeah. And I'm gonna pull it up here. I gotta pull it up from Mike Lucio.
Yeah, he posted some stat yesterday that really blew my mind.
And I'm gonna pull it up here in a moment. If I can find it. All right. So St. Augustine 70, Arnold 21, Chris. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, according to Michael Lucio, this is the first time St. Augustine has scored 70 points since the year of AD 1944. 1944.
World War II.
We have to go back to World War II to the last time St. Augustine. By the way, at that time, it was not called St. Augustine High. It was called Kennerlinus. So if you really, it's really, really interesting. And you know what? That you think about this, you look at it, you go back to that, and you see that stat, and you're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
I was stunned. I when you saw that stat, and I'm like, what is this? I'm like, you had to go back. You had to go back to 1944 to find this, and just to find out they scored 70. Just unreal.
You think with the way the offenses are this day and age, that would have been done maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But I digress. I mean, that.
Yeah, there was a lot of 70-point playoff games. There was a lot of blowouts. This is where we say, hey, you know what? Metro Suburban gave us really good playoff games. This is not giving us good playoff games. By the way, I hope y'all are enjoying the season.
And to be fair with that comment, that's not just a Florida thing. That's a Texas thing too. That's also a California thing. That's also a Louisiana, Georgia, and Tennessee thing too. So I mean, you're going to find these blowouts in the first round in every state there, in every state in the union. So
yeah, oh, absolutely. By the way, looking at this here we go. Looking at these scores here, obviously Ed White 42-20, Choctaw 49-6, Columbia 35-0. No surprises there. How about that? A perfect 4-0 in the predictions in that region.
Yeah, about what we expected.
Yep, about where we expected things to be. All right, here we go. Another region where we went how about this? Chris, another perfect 4-0 in the computer.
Mm-hmm.
Where Jones takes care of business against Deltona 35-13, Vanguard 21-14 over Auburndale, Zephyr Hills 29-0 over Rockledge, and then Lake Wales 38-3 over New Smyrna Beach. And I actually, you know what? I'll tell you the matchups on this side for Region 2, both of them are going to be damn good for Friday. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Not bad at all. If you're looking for some good football games, this region, keep an eye on.
Oh, yeah.
4A Region 3. Now, this one, you know what? Okay, we were wrong on South Fort Myers, Naples by 1, but when you have a long forecast line of under 6, you know that game could go either way, and especially a forecast line is at 1. You know that game can go. It could go turn on a head in either way. Naples exacts their revenge, 21-13. They move on, but pretty much we're right on the money on the rest of the ones that there. In the terms of the predictions, obviously Jesuit moving on, Naples moving on to the play. I think Port Charlotte and then Clearwater. So there you go.
As far as Clearwater goes, I expected them to win, but I expected Blake to put up a bigger fight than that.
Yeah,
that's the one. That's what surprised me about that result.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I expected Blake to put up a little bit more of a fight, but Jesuit right now is the team of the class of the team to beat in this region, in my opinion. All right, and then on to Region 4 here. We'll talk about the one result at the bottom in a moment. Obviously, Archbishop McCarthy winners there, no issue there. Jensen Beach. This one, Miami Norland. I thought Jensen Beach would put up a fight against Norland, given the fact that Norland had some moments. But
I thought Jensen Beach had a chance to win the thing, and I think I picked Jensen Beach too.
So, but this one,
and
the American Heritage rolling over John Carroll, no surprise there. But this one. Plantation over Dillard. Someone hold on. What in the hell?
I don't know if this is the case of Dillard being overconfident in their rankings or if it's the layoff or reading too much into their own.
I think Mark Cannon was in that game, and I think Mark might be able to provide us some more insights of that particular situation, because I got to be honest, if you told me that Dillard was bowing out in the first round, I would have told you to get I would have told you to get the heck out of the room. I literally would.
That's where I think Dillard was overconfident, and I think they were looking too far ahead to American Heritage. To be honest with you,
you're right. They may have. You know what? That's a good point. That's a good point, Chris. This is where some teams, and this may be some of the case where some teams look too far ahead into the bracket thing. All right.
When the bracket came out, the thing we even I guarantee you, even Dillard was looking at this, and we were thinking, okay, Dillard American Heritage second round, juicy matchup. We were thinking that on Wednesday,
right?
And then all of a sudden, here we are on Saturday morning. Not Dillard there, Plantation.
And as Mark Cannon just said, Dillard has nobody to blame themselves. Probably the same goes for every team that lost, basically. You have no one to blame but yourselves, probably, on some of this. You might be right. By the way, if you noticed in the ticker, we put all the playoff scores for each for all 8 classifications. So. Anyways, that one was that was probably my biggest stunner was that one right there, was seeing that score.
Honestly, I think Dillard was way too confident, and then with the record that they had, and probably was looking too far ahead.
Yeah. Coach Bell, you're right. I'll give Plantation their credit. They came out and they played the game. They were focused on that game. They were focused on Dillard. They weren't focused on blowing about American Heritage for next week. Dillard may have been that. They may have been looking ahead, and Plantation caught them. They caught them looking ahead. They caught them flipping to that page next week of the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know what, Marky? You blow opportunities, you're going to lose games. That's just how and I'll tell you what, football is a funny animal. Sometimes you know what, and this goes for all sports. This goes for any sport.
Mm-hmm.
You think we know everything? We don't know everything. In college football, you see it happen. You see it happen in the NFL. You see it happen in baseball. You see it happen in basketball.
Mm-hmm. You see it happen in hockey, too.
I think that's what makes sports fun. is that any given day, someone can win that we may not be expecting.
Case in point, the 16 seed beating the 1 seed in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. All right, the Class 5A Region 1, another overtime game that lurked around. 31-30, Niceville comes up just short against Ponte Vedra.
That's surprised. You know, Niceville putting up a fight like that's impressive.
Go on the road, put up a fight. Yes, I give Niceville credit for putting up a fight and taking it to overtime. Beachside carries on. Sorry, Malin. I'm sorry about the prediction that the computer spit out and told y'all you were a 14-point underdog. Obviously, Middleburg did put up a fight early on, but y'all came and rolled my alma mater. So congratulations on that. Hey, good job to the alma mater. 8-3 is not bad for a season. You know what? You know, considering for most years, people have already had would have you down and out. You know, before Game 5 of the season. So, and yes, Lincoln almost did pull off the upset.
There's no shame in Middleburg playing the way they did because they played in probably the most competitive district in the state.
No, I agree. I mean, in 5A Region 1 is a tough region, flat out. Yeah, no, coach. They had a great year. They had a great year. They beat Beachside. They beat the Ventral District champs in their district. So I mean, you know what? And Mosley, hats off to y'all. Y'all came, y'all blew a lead, still found a way to come out and win. Now, these matchups next week, good as you can get. Good as you can get.
You find me 14 better than these 4? Yeah.
Now, obviously, we know, Chris, as you know, is that when it comes to Class 5A, there's still the big elephant in the room. We'll get to it in a moment. We all know who that elephant is. We won't have to say names right this second. We'll get to it in a moment. That everybody in Class 5A has to keep an eye on, and we'll. No, Mark, Malin didn't get lucky and probably cheat. No, they just play good football, like Malin does. Yep. I gotta say that, you know what, Coach Bell at Middleburg staff, they actually do have a really great staff, and they have a staff that has coached deep into the playoffs before. It's just getting it's just getting it fine tuned. But 4 years straight in the playoffs, that's a tip of the cap to Middleburg. Mark. Y'all starting the chat up. I see it. All right. Here we go. No surprises in this region here, Chris. Every team that we expected to win won pretty single-handedly. And it's going to create some interesting matchups here. Obviously, the one in Region 2 here. Obviously, Edgewater, Tampa Bay Tech, Lakeland, Gaither. Those are going to be some interesting matchups there coming out of this one.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Gaither come out of the gate strong in that against Lakeland.
They're gonna put up a fight against Lakeland. Lakeland will not. I'm sorry, Lakeland will not roll in this one, but we'll talk more about it. Lakeland will not necessarily roll in this one. Gaither's a really doggone good team, and Tampa Bay Tech will put up a fight here against Edgewater. They'll put up a fight. I'm still expecting right now to see Edgewater and Lakeland meet in that regional final, and I'm telling you that is going to be one hell of a matchup in the regional finals for Black Friday. All right, on to the next one here. Here we go. Riverdale taking care of North Fort Myers. Actually, that score was not 47-2. That score was
47-22.
47-22. Somehow the second two did not click in. So, as you can tell, I was trying to type 22, and apparently the 22 didn't know how to fix that for the show for come Wednesday night. Immokalee 10-8. Now that's another. Hey, Winston James, here you go. Here's another score, Gobby. 10-8. Chris, they might. I don't think they played football out there in Immokalee. I think they got out the baseballs and put down bases and they played baseball and stuff in this game.
And Manatee winning against Charlotte. Wow.
I'm not surprised they won. It's
Yeah.
I think that here's the thing. The forecast was Charlotte 12. I gotta say this. I think there's nothing bad to say bad about Charlotte because Charlotte was going to give Manatee all they got, and they did. I think the score more indicative is saying, hey, everybody wants to talk about Manatee. Everybody wants to talk about Manatee. Well, Manatee played a tough schedule. Manatee had a tough schedule. Manatee was it was one of those years for them where, get tough schedule. Oh, that's why they're 4-6. But I feel like that score is more indicative. It's more of an indictment on Manatee at this particular point to say, you know what? Anybody could potentially beat Manatee in this bracket.
Oh, yeah. Capable of doing it, too.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing, Emery. You can be up 28-6, but if Charlotte scores 15 points in the fourth to make it 28-21, it's not about how you start the game. It's about how you fit a point in the playoffs like that. I'm just gonna be frank and honest on that one. You're gonna get caught with somebody because when you let a team come,
I mean, you give Charlotte another 2 possessions. I guarantee you that can go into overtime.
Or that game could have been a Charlotte win.
Yep.
That game could have been a Charlotte win. And see, here's the thing. I'm going to point out the other side. I'm going to point the other factor here too. Gulf Coast was up, I believe, 21-0 against Cape Coral before Cape Coral came back. Again, that's not how you start; it's how you finish. Yeah, you want to start good, but it's how you finish the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you right now, man, season might be over. I'm just telling you all that right now.
Yep.
All right. To Region 4, Kiwanis, well, we don't even need to talk about that. Coconut Creek, actually, we that was a 1-point spread on that, and Coconut Creek rolls, and they get that. Atlantic rolls 55-0. And MacArthur, yes, the computer did predict MacArthur over Martin County, and sure enough, look at MacArthur. Just too much talent on the field against Martin County, and they roll Martin County 41-13.
Yeah, not much of a surprise next bracket, to be honest with you. I mean, Atlantic did what they did. MacArthur did what they did. Coconut Creek.
Yeah.
Rolling over Mater Academy. I mean, it's about what we expected.
Yeah. By the way, 14-2 on the computer was 14-2 on the picks in Class 5A.
So if you want to criticize coach ranking, go ahead.
Say what?
You want to criticize the computer on that? Go ahead.
Oh, Winston, I knew that. So I heard you, man. I heard you.
Yep, I did. Mm-hmm.
All right. On to 6A, Region 1. Boy, that was a close one. Probably the closest 1-8 matchup of any of the games in the brackets. Behold 49, Oviedo 41. Oh, my goodness.
Whew. Talk about a bone. You got all they could handle in that game.
Oh, yeah. You're absolutely right. It was one of those where you were like, holy cow. You just sat there and you looked at it and you were like, what?
I think Buell was in for a rude awakening this week, and if they play the way they did this week against Nice next week,
Oh, yeah, it can spell trouble.
they're going to be gone. They're going to be gone.
It can spell trouble. It can spell trouble for.
If Buell plays like they did this week, like against Nice, they're out of here.
No, absolutely. But anyways, we did nail the computer did nail the picks in this region 4-0. We were right. The computer was right because Nice was a favorite, 6-point favorite over Oak Cliff, and they literally blew them out. So if that's any indication, Buchholz has to tighten up stuff here against Nice at home next Friday night. And then Mandarin will host. So there you go. All right, let's go to Region 2. Oops, let me pull up. There we go. Region 2. All right, Armwood 43-0 Melbourne. Vera 54-14 over Riverview. Now look at this one. South Lake and Plant in the 2-7 matchup. 37. Yes, please refrain from using all caps. How about that 36, Chris? Triple overtime. They needed 3 overtimes to decide that game.
You know, I expected that to be interesting.
No.
And the South Lake deserve to move on right after that.
Gary says it's not a big deal, but Cowboys won 20-15. 2 more due to a holding, and we didn't. What? So on the bracket, it shows 22-15. Because that's what it shows. But yeah, Durant. Yeah, I'll make a note on that to change it. I appreciate that. But yeah, you know what, Chris? This one's just really, really interesting.
We'll get some very interesting matchups in the bracket next week.
I'll say this: that South Lake. I'll say this.
That South Lake Osceola game is going to be real juicy.
Yeah. I just got to say this: you're right. The South Lake Osceola game is going to be really juicy. It really is going to be a game that you want to keep an eye on and see what's going to happen there in that one. But, anyways, with that said, another bracket that we were actually a perfect 4-0 on the computer rankings. So. So much for referring to the FHA max brackets. All right. Well, let's roll on to Region 3, Chris, where we find again another overtime game. Palmetto Wiregrass Ranch. Wiregrass Ranch takes Palmetto to the wire.
I'm really surprised that game went to overtime. Given how bad Wiregrass Ranch has been all year compared to last year, but I guess the experience from last year kind of played in their favor, even though they lost.
Yeah, and and then looking at it, that took down the wire. West Boca return rolling. What's surprising is that how bad Mitchell beat Leonard. I thought that for a 4-5 game. That would be close, no contest, and then East Lake rolling over Parrish that in that 3-6 matchup. Woo. Good night.
Honestly, in this bracket, I kind of think West Boca is to lose.
Yeah, I'm still in the belief that West Boca should have been the 1 seed, but I digress.
Yeah.
Anyways, Region 4, here we go. You've got obviously Miami Southbridge rolling there. Flanagan and Piper, that was only a fair 6-point spread there on that Flanagan 12. Piper moves on. Thanks for playing, Piper. Miami Southbridge is going to be really.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I think in this bracket, I think West Broward's the team to watch. I mean,
I agree, but Miami really Southbridge is on a revenge tour for what happened last year in the state semifinals. Because if it wasn't West Broward, I'll tell you this right now: if it wasn't West Boca sitting in the state championship game last year, it would have been Miami Southbridge. It would have been a different story. Would have Osceola had a bigger shot at winning that game? Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
But we also could have said Gold should have been in that game versus not Osceola. My copy.
Yeah.
Gosh, y'all are bad in the chat. Y'all are bad. But anyways, no surprises other than outside of the Piper Flanagan game. But anyways,
speaking of McDonald's,
I cooked myself some eggs and I had a bagel and I toasted the bagel, so I cooked my own self breakfast.
I got a cat looking at this bag.
Yeah. Anyways, let's go to the class. Mark, you're right. Piper struggled earlier in the year, and you even wondered, okay, were they going to even make the playoffs? But Winston, we'll talk about on DeLand.
Yeah.
By the way, the spread was 75. DeLand wins 70-21. Not necessarily a 75-point spread, but DeLand putting up 70 points. Woo-wee! Boone and Winter Park in a dogfight there, and the Braves come out on top there on that one. Lake Mary over Haggerty 42-14, and then Spruce Creek. I was told that out, but the line was crazy on Spruce Creek over Seminole, but Spruce Creek gets the battle, wins that one, in the rematch, and 23-20. Spruce Creek moves on. So, you know what? Those are going to be some good games in the regional semifinal.
That definitely Region 1 probably the best bracket I've seen at all the brackets in the playoffs. So,
yeah,
in the second round.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Region 2, Chris. We see Venice 49-12 over Rich Community, West Orange and Plant City on a barn burner 45-30. Sarasota Riverview 42-13 over Winter Haven, Sumner 44-13 over Ocoee. And another bracket that we were 4-0. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Any surprises here? I mean,
I'll tell you this one. This Venice West Orange game can be really, really intriguing.
I think that Riverview Thunder game got a chance to go overtime next week.
But I think I can see that too. This West Orange Venice game, I feel like.
Oh yeah.
I get it's going to be at Powell Davis. I get it, but there's going to be a chance where West Orange, they may give Venice some fits.
Venice is not a shoe-in for this.
Say what?
Venice is not a shoe-in for this stuff.
No, I don't think Venice is a shoe-in either. Not right now. Not in 7A. Anyways, let's go to 7A Region 3 where, oh boy. Oh boy. Do we really, okay. Give me my plate, give me my fork, give me my knife, and give me my spoon because I'm going to need it to dish up this one.
Just give us some quo.
Vero Beach, no issue there. Lake Nona shutting out St. Cloud to give Lake Nona their first playoff win in program history. Congratulations to the Lake Nona Lions. On to the second round. Unfortunately, you're going to about to face a buzzsaw named Vero Beach, who has been damn good all season long. And Vero Beach might be producing their best team since the 81 state championship squad right now.
Well, that's going to be
Phillips over number 2 seed Jupiter 24-21, which then sends Dr. Phillips on the road to Fort Pierce Central, who gets by Palm Beach Central by 1. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
something tells me Dr. Phillips has done an interesting ride here.
Chances of a Vero Beach Fort Pierce Central rematch in the regional finals is pretty. It's.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to put my foot on Footprint Central yet because I think Dr. Phillips actually has a chance.
Well, Dr. Phillips is going to have a say here.
Based on the game against Jupiter, I think Dr. Phillips has a chance against Footprint Central.
Yeah. And then last but not least, okay, you see there's one bracket game not filled in yet. Well, guess what? I know that game's not final, by the way. It's not 3-6. That game is tonight. Goldman and South Dade at Traz-Powell. So be prepared for that game. We'll find out who the winner comes out on that one on the other side. Miami Palmetto advances 42-0. Santa Lucia's drops the in this state, and sure enough, now they're the best standing on 4-7 team in the state because they advanced 28-3 over Santa Lucia. And how about Spanish River at the buzzer? Field goal wins it for them. 23-21.
Yeah. Knocking up a very good Western team.
So far, right this second, yeah, okay. So so far 12-3 and 7-8 with one game to go. So actually not too bad on the picks, but you know what I gotta think? You know what I'm gotta say recapping this?
What you got?
There's gonna be some really dandy games next week, and I gotta think that I have a feeling that the computer will be even more right next thing. I mean, usually you're gonna have wonky results in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have some wonky results, and those wonky results are gonna. I about spilt my can. Luckily, I didn't have much left in it. Because Mark handed me through the pit. See, Mark, see what you did. See what you did. See what you did, Mark. See what you did. I gotta turn on the laugh track. By the way, I didn't want to bring it up, but you know, there's been one word that has not been said in the entire chat today, so we actually made it. We're just gonna leave it alone. Chris, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Let me send you a little message here so that way I don't give it away. Pulling your thumb. All right, so
Yeah.
you know, let's
Yeah,
talk a little bit more about talking about it. What questions do you have for us? What do we want to talk about in terms of what we got going for next week? Because we'll talk more about it Wednesday, obviously, but you know, like just in terms of right now, you know, I think that we're gonna have some really we're going to have some damn good regional semifinals here. It's just those are going to be there's some really good games that I really say that I give up. Give up.
It took us all. It took us all show. That's kind of.
I didn't see it. Oh my gosh. By the way, really quick, let's yeah. By the way, in the FIT Rural Bracket, we'll just talk about this real quick here. Wildwood, the 9 seed, beat Jefferson County 28-12, and then the 7 seed Central and Milton 28-20. That's the Rural FIT Bracket. And the 1A through 3A, Dunellen 34-20. That was a 1A matchup over Pensacola. 5 seed Andrew Jackson 44-19 over WikiWatch. That was this is the north part of the 1A 3A. Palaca 52-20 over Wilson. That was a 3-6. And then, by the way, it hasn't started here. So Hudson, what's interesting is this, and I'm pulling it up now. Okay, so Hudson, Tenor Rock, they're not technically seeds because they were thrown in after the fact. So even though they were in the spot of the 2-7, Palaca actually gets to host this game next week. Hudson 42-0. Palaca gets to host Hudson next week, next Thursday. So all the FIT games will be Thursday. And then the one in the South bracket, because there was a lot of drops, Oasis beats Inland Grove 24-0. So that is there. And then the 4A through 7A FIT, Childs 41-24 over Palm Harbor, Bartram Trail 42-37 over Matanzas, Tate 35-14 over First Coast, Dr. Joaquin Garcia 55-33 over Sarasota, Mark Cannon's alma mater. I'm so sorry, Mark. I am so sorry, Mark. Royal Palm Beach 32-0 over Palm Beach Lakes, Palm Beach Gardens 29-8 over Centennial, and Westwood 14-8 over Miramar.
Miramar wouldn't surprise me a little bit there.
Yeah. By the way, I think I may have mentioned it real quick, but we had the playoff scores running in the ticker this morning too.
Yeah, we sure did.
So
not sure if any of you noticed that.
So, and we will have that up on the Drive the State show as well on Wednesday. So Mark went to that game on Thursday against Dr. Joaquin Garcia in Sarasota. I mean, that was a competitive 55-33 in that game. So, wow. We said we would do this about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and we're about right at the hour and a half mark here, Chris.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
No, not at all.
Yeah. But that's a very interesting matchup coming up in the next round. I'm looking at that 7A1 bracket, and it you can't get any better than that.
No, absolutely. I'm really looking. Almost every single bracket. There's a lot of good games here that will be had, and of course, I got to say this. You know what's coming up here in less than 2 weeks?
Yep.
We will have turkey. We will have Thanksgiving football. We'll have Young Fresh. Yes, Glade Central. Stand up.
Birthday football for me.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely. At least you know what? You know what it didn't feel like? It didn't feel like this real quick.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like that. Not this week.
No. Things came back down to earth.
Yeah, things came back down to earth a little bit, but can't watch everyone says I can't wait to watch the Kiffin Bowl tonight. Oh, you know what? Hopefully maybe something here. I don't know. It's either.
And I gotta say this. Shout out to Google and Disney for solving their little spat.
that was unnecessary by them. Well, actually, more unnecessary by Disney.
Yeah.
By the way, Emery, you know what? I gotta hopefully today will be a good day for. Mark, you'll be in Gainesville Friday after Thanksgiving Day? Come on, let's meet up for lunch. Somebody's gonna have to pick me up, or I have to go get an Uber. So probably, or actually, you know what? Let me know. It might have to be later on Friday. I do have to help with the Christmas decorations on the day of after with the fiance's parents. So I do have to do that. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, Chris, any final thoughts as we wrap this up?
Yeah, a couple of big surprises out there, but not very many. A lot of blowouts.
Yeah, not
as you'd expect.
Yeah, a lot. Again, with the blowouts, we'll keep an eye on this, see what the numbers are, in terms of the blowouts and stuff like that and everything. But we'll have to see and kind of keep an eye on it. And then let's see. Chinese buffet. The Chinese buffet is popular in Wauchula, apparently, Chris.
No comment.
But anyways, we'll be back Wednesday for another edition of Drive the State. We'll make our picks for round 2, and then we'll go from there. Appreciate everybody joining us here for the Saturday morning special recap edition of Drive the State. We'll see you Wednesday.
By the way, the bracket should be up later this afternoon.
Yeah, the printable brackets, because they are looking spiffy. More spiffier than any other bracket I've seen. So, yes, appreciate everybody watching. Thank you for joining us here on this Saturday morning. Have fun watching your college football and then NFL tomorrow. We'll see you back here Wednesday night on 4HSFootball.com and the 4HSFootball.com social media handles.